how do you look so much like Boris Kojo?
I actually hear that all the time.
Yeah. Fine,
Boris
that's fine.
Kojo. Boris, let's get our DNA tested.
Yeah, maybe you guys are brothers. Nana Kra, Nana
Yes.
as the chief, right? And can you tell us the full name
Yes.
and your African name as well?
Yes, I am Nana Kweku Dakrabo the first.
Wow, Nana Kweku Dakrabo the first. Amazing, amazing. So you're just visiting here this time from the States. And I saw you yesterday at the ADDI event, which was the installation of
The new chiefs.
and development chiefs around, and you were there as well. How significant is that for the diasporans that are coming from all over the world, especially the United States, to come here and coming back home to actually be part of this development and be part of making sure that Africa is what we need and what we want?
Yeah, it is vitally important. It is ultimately significant because we are attempting to reconnect the diaspora with the continental Africans, with the continent of Africa, to undo a lot of what's been told to us over, hundreds of years of who we are and misrepresenting who we are. So it's time for us to come back together, come back to our roots, learn about who we are, and build up our people and build up our continent.
Yeah, that's very good. I think that there's been a lot of that, and now it's action, because after 400 years, people have to start acting that we have to do that. Now, you are in the States, and you know how difficult sometimes as a black man, a strong black man like yourself. How do you live in the States as a strong black man? How do you mentally have that type of mental capability to live in the States? I know you were born there, but how is it like to actually be as a strong black man living in the United States?
It's challenging, of course. It's challenging for any minority in the United States. It's just not really set up for us in that way there. But I think we have had 400 years of overcoming. We had to overcome slavery, we had to overcome segregation, we had to overcome police brutality and dividing our people, and to be here today, we are overcomers. And so I think the overcoming mentality and spirit, I've clung to that.
Yes.
So that and I leaned on that obviously to just push forward, push through the challenges, pushing through everything that they don't want us to have there, and through a system that is not really designed for us. But I think that with the spirit of overcoming, with that spirit, any of us can be successful. Any of us can achieve what we set out our hearts to achieve. We just have to work twice as hard.
As a young prince or young chief in America and here as well, you are, an example to the youth, especially in our diasporans in America, the young people in America. What do you tell them about Africa? Because there's a lot of misrepresentation and misconceptions between the continent of Africa and the Africans in their diaspora. So especially for young people that are going through a lot with the issue of identity. Because you've identified yourself as an African and you've come here, you were installed as a chief. So what's the message? How can you help them as well to have that mentality of saying that at least even if you're not coming back home, you can be part of it?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would want them to know is that they are African. I think one thing that we tend to fall back on as black people in America is the fact that every other race and culture identifies with that culture. You have Asians, you have Pacific Islanders, you have Europeans, you have natives, you have Indians, you have everyone that's from around the world that's living in America identifies with that. But for Africans, we're African Americans. You know, like we're not just African. And that's what I think is part of the identity crisis that we're having. We have to remember that we are first African, and that's where we can start to build our identity from. And once we can hold on to that and grasp that idea, then we can begin to explore Africa and begin to explore our roots and see the ways to get involved. And there's so many ways to get involved. There's a lot of organizations, for example, ADDI, that's doing a lot of good work to connect our Africans around the world with the continent. And there's a lot of things that you can do and people that you can reach to get involved. And so I would say do some research, but first know that you are African.
I love that. It's very profound, because when you say that first you're an African before you're an American. So that's very important, and that's the message that I think we need to kind of go out there and start talking to the young people, especially with the identity crisis. Now you're wearing very nice clothes. These are chieftaincy clothing. What do you think about them, that you walk around with them in New York?
I'm just recently starting to wear it more in the United States. I had a red carpet event that I wore a nice African outfit, and so I think even myself, I still have to embrace more of my African identity.
Yes.
You know, I think there's at times we want to fit in versus stand out, and so I even struggle with that myself. So. Right now, I'm just learning to be more of an African, be more of who I am,
yes,
and study the culture more. And as I do that more, as I come here more and visit more, it becomes more of who I am. It becomes more entrenched within me.
No, that's good. That's good. And you're doing a great job for sure. And now you're a chief of Asebu Kingdom. What's your role? Like as a chief?
Yes, I'm the Mpuntuhin of Akonoma in Asebu. Mpuntuhin is the development chief. So I'm responsible for bringing opportunity, bringing development, businesses and things like that to my kingdom.
Okay, all right. Now we are having Wakanda, the Wakanda One City of Return, with the ADDI initiative and all that. What do you think about the initiative of the Wakanda One City of Return? What does it mean to you?
Everything. It's so significant. It is groundbreaking because it is giving our people something to aspire to, something brilliant, something magnificent, something advanced. Something with a lot of technology, a lot of hope. And so I think it's one of the most significant things that I know that I've been a part of, and I'm very, very excited to be a part of a lot of the projects that are going on and developing a lot of my own projects within that framework.
That's very good. And now this ADDI was founded by a woman, and I'm sure you have a mother, and Black women are very strong women. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts about, the women empowerment as well.
Yes. We have to empower our women. Our women are our backbone. They've always been our support system. They're the support of the man. And so they support our initiatives. They progress us. They lift us up. And now it's our time to lift them up and bring them up with us so that we can all be one. We can all be united in our stance and in our positions to build and grow Africa. And building them up gives them more respect from their peers. And so that's what we need to give back to our women because they are strong.
Yes.
And I do have a mama. And she is strong.
She's strong. She's strong. And do you have a family? Do you have kids?
Yes, yes.
Have they visited Ghana?
I have a wife and 2 boys,
Yeah.
2 kids. They have not visited yet. They were actually supposed to come this time, but were prevented
Yeah.
for various reasons. But looking very much forward to having them come and visit and see the land and be inspired as I am.
Yes, yes. Was it a challenge for you to start, just, how your mind was set to come and start, just coming back to Africa and all that? What was that process?
It was difficult because we're told that this isn't the place you should come. We've been told that in our entire lives.
Yeah.
It's a dark continent. Africa is just poverty and jungles and, the worst of the worst. So we don't think about even wanting to go. We would rather go to Hawaii. We would rather go to Paris, or an island somewhere and hang out, or So I think that it was a challenge initially, but once I began to, once I began to speak to more people here and embrace more of the culture and learn more, the more I learned, the more I got excited about coming. And then once I came, it was just like I arrived, like I made it home. That homecoming feeling. So I love everything about Ghana.
Oh wow! Yeah. Thank you so much, and I'm sure you'll be visiting a lot of countries in Africa as well as a chief, and to see more of your people. And welcome home once again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for Thank you so much for coming and giving us this opportunity to speak with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you. Thank you.